Stop thinking, and your problems will end, said the wise Lao Tzu. But how can we stop thinking when our minds are always busy? What does it really mean to stop thinking? Can we turn off our brains, or do we need to distract ourselves? Our thoughts race all day and night. We think about the past, worry about the future, and even make up problems that aren't real. It's like our minds are always running on a treadmill, never stopping. To beat overthinking, we first need to understand why it happens. What's really going on when someone can't stop thinking? From a young age, people often fear what they don't know. This happens because not knowing something means we're not sure what will happen next. It's like being in a dark room. You can't see what's around you, so you might feel scared or nervous. Our brains are made to keep us safe and avoid things that might hurt us. This part of our brain that tries to protect us is what makes us afraid of things we don't know about. As we grow up, this fear of the unknown can turn into overthinking. When we face a situation we're not sure about, our brain starts working extra hard to figure out all the possible things that could happen. It's like our brain is trying to shine a light into every corner of that dark room to make sure there's nothing dangerous hiding there. But sometimes this process goes too far. Instead of just thinking about real possibilities, we start imagining all sorts of unlikely scenarios. This is where overthinking really kicks in. Our thoughts start going around and around in circles. So how can we make these thoughts less powerful and stop them from taking over? First, we need to understand no amount of overthinking can help figure out or understand something you don't know or that hasn't happened. Differentiate yourself from your thought. Some of your thoughts are just from your brain's biological instincts to protect you. So sometimes it cannot tell the difference between a dangerous situation or anything. As long as you feed your thoughts and think of them as you as a person, this is when it triggers your flight or flight response. So learn to control your thoughts. Notice when your thoughts start to spiral. Being aware is the first step. Then ask yourself, are these even based on real facts? When we have problems, it's easy to think about everything that's wrong. But that doesn't help much. Instead, it's better to think about what we can do to fix things. This is called focusing on solutions. When Lao Tzu said, "Stop thinking and your problems will end," he didn't mean we should never think. What he meant was that we should learn to focus completely on what we're doing right now. The human brain often gets stuck thinking about problems over and over. This can make the problems seem bigger and harder to solve. It's like a hamster running on a wheel, running as fast it can, but going nowhere. But here's an interesting idea. Sometimes, if we stop thinking so much about our problems, they can get smaller or even go away. This might sound strange, but it's true. When we stop focusing on what's wrong all the time, our minds can relax. And when our minds relax, we might find answers we couldn't see before. Scientists call this incubation. It's like when you plant a seed and leave it alone. You don't see anything happening, but under the ground, the seed is growing. Our brains can work the same way with problems. This doesn't mean we should ignore our problems forever. It just means that sometimes it's good to take a break from thinking about them. We can do other things, like read a book or go for a walk. While we're doing these things, our brain is still working on the problem in the background. When we come back to the problem later, we might see it differently. We might have new ideas about how to fix it. This is because our brain had time to think about it in a different way. Remember, it's okay to think about problems sometimes. But if thinking about them all the time is making you feel bad, it's okay to take a break. Your brain is very smart. It will keep working on the problem, even when you're not thinking about it on purpose. This way of dealing with problems can help us feel better and might even help us solve them faster. It's a serious strategy that even adults and experts use when they have big problems to solve.